Podcast. That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The Good Bad Guys Wrestling Podcast are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow today, so that means we get 52 more weeks of pro wrestling.
I'm Kevin,
I'm Joe.
and I like to interrupt Joe.
That's right.
And I'm Joe, 1989, second place in a beauty contest winner. $10, baby.
What's the story behind
Truth?
that?
You've never played Monopoly?
Oh.
I was gonna say,
Wasn't thinking like that.
I was thinking you were at like the mall or something.
Yeah. I was
No.
like, how could I picture that? And Jason's not here. He is on the Jericho cruise. In case you didn't listen to last week's show, yeah. If you missed last week's show, he threw it out there 1, 2, 10 times. I think it was. So can't wait. He's already sent us 1 or 2 pictures of being on the ship, and they announced next year's cruise. He's already putting the pressure on us to join him next year. But we're gonna hold off. He messaged me that he was thinking of.
No, Brian. What's the percentage? What's the percentage of you showing up on the Jericho cruise next year? We need to know now. Kevin, give us the breaking news.
I'm not playing. It is literally a year from now. I don't know what I'm having for breakfast on Friday. Yeah, it is.
I would love to go.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I've never been on a cruise. It mixes music, wrestling, fun. It's just the beginning of the year. It's just so
tropical
hard.
weather. Yeah. It's
Kids in
it's
school.
a tough time. It might be conflicting with the Royal Rumble. It was this close this year, and the date's like January 26th. So I mean, who knows? It's a year away. It's a year away. I probably won't go, but
Actually, Tony Khan's going to buy the WWE first time.
Oh, that's
after
true.
Rumble on a boat.
The Rumble will be on the cruise. Yes.
So it works out.
Okay. That's something we all have to look forward to.
Speaking of the Rumble, Bri, so
Yes.
we all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You had something going on.
I
Give
did.
us your highlights of what you thought of the Rumble.
He had his chance. He could have been on with us. He's not part of the pod line. Brian, you can't say anything.
I'm the honorary line. Is that what I am? I'm the honorary pod line. Who knows?
You're the honorary B.
Yes, I can agree with that. But yeah, guys, you guys did a great job on the reaction pod. I share a lot of your sentiments. The Rumble was way better than it was last year, first and foremost. I'm always going to remember that Logan Paul Ricochet spot. I stood up. I yelled, "Come on," about 5 times. Loved it. Love seeing Edge back. Love seeing Booker T back. Cody at 30, meh, predictable, like we all said. But love that him and Gunther had like a whole match at the end. That was fun.
So good.
Kevin Owens and Roman was very good. The one false finish got me a little bit, where Sami hesitated to give Roman the chair and KO hit the stunner when the ref was down. I was like, oh, okay. That got me a little bit. But the post-match drama, guys, and the breakup of the bloodline, one of the best things I've ever seen. And it took me a day or two, and then I heard Busted Open say it, and it like reinforced it in my mind. That was Return of the Jedi. That was Darth Vader standing up to the Emperor as he's killing Luke. That was exactly. That was exactly what Sami was Vader. Like, I don't like you, but I'm gonna go against Emperor Palpatine, and finally stood up to defend his best friend. Kevin Owens.
And who was Jey Uso then?
Lando.
An
Ewok?
Yeah. Lando or 3PO. I don't know.
Lando, because he did
Lando.
turn and then he was back. Okay, there you go. He's Lando.
Yeah, Lando. That's right. Lando like was flipping sides and everything. Yeah. Yeah, that pop when Sami hit Roman with the chair, unreal. It's cemented for me.
I like the comparison of 2014 Shield breakup, Bloodline breakup. Either way, Roman's getting hit in the back with a chair.
Yeah, Roman, and you think it's planned that way? Like he fell the exact same way with like both knees down. It was fantastic. I really think this cemented to me that this has been the best wrestling story in modern history, guys. I love this so much. Do you guys you do agree, Kev? And any other
100%.
Now that it's been a few days since the Rumble, any other thoughts or things from the aftermath of the post-show reaction?
I loved it. How I know we're getting him wrong a little bit. I loved it how Cody was there, right? But that might have been the first time where I actually heard Roman sucks chants. And it's only going to get stronger.
Wasn't just that.
And more than that,
when Roman he's gonna go after Sami. The crowd's gonna get hot on Sami. This is pure. Everyone's gonna start booing, hating on Roman, and it's only gonna make him even bigger. This is the thing. It's not gonna make him look weak. And who thought the bloodline could get stronger individually, but it's an exciting time. I loved it. I'm still on the Royal Rumble hangover.
Yeah,
truly.
I can't wait for SmackDown tonight to see what happens next.
Oh man, I can't.
I'll be glued.
If it's going to be awesome, it will be incredible.
Any other takeaways, Joe? Or sorry, Kev.
No, you're fine.
Kevin does like to interrupt.
I do. Hi, my name's Kevin. I like to interrupt.
We've established this.
Storyline's amazing. It's not over yet, though. We don't have an ending yet.
Not
yet. It's the final chapter. So we gotta end this like the Sami version of it. But the storyline's not over. Everyone's talking about how it's over. It's not over yet. We have to find out what happens. I am very concerned, and this is where you can think I'm being negative, but I'm just concerned that they're going to be so tempted to redo the Montreal screw job with Sami in Montreal, in Montreal with Roman. I'm like, because we know he's not it's going to be Cody versus Roman, which we'll discuss later. But I'm concerned that they're going to take this beautiful storyline and give it the worst ending possible to do Montreal screw job part 2.
Wow. Well, yeah, we've got, and that's the interesting thing about the calendar. We're 2 weeks away from Elimination Chamber. And obviously tonight on SmackDown, we'll kind of set the stage for if we are getting an official Roman Sami match. But yeah, Joe, you said it. It's Montreal. There's a lot of history there. And with how hot this angle has been, it's a sold out show. The crowd is going to be off the chain no matter what happens. So yeah, I hope they don't go to that, because let the past be the past.
It's so tempting though to do.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'd hate to see that, but I can't rule it out. The one other thing from my Rumble night, because I couldn't join the pod line afterward, because we had some friends up. It was a little go out action, and they ended up crashing here in this basement if you're watching on YouTube. So I was unavailable to do the pod. But my buddy Jamie, and he's an old wrestling fan, just like us, same age, Ultimate Warrior, loved, all the guys from back in the day. And then he, fell out of it like most normal people, unlike us.
You mean adults?
Yeah.
You mean adults?
So I'd be feeding him with guys would come down in the Rumble match, and I'd say oh, this is this person, that person, or whatever. And when Cody came out, I said, do you remember Dusty Rhodes? And he's like, yeah. And I go, that's his son. He's like, oh, cool. And he goes, didn't he have another son wrestler? What wasn't his name? Gold Digger? I I lost it. I was like, so close. Gold digger.
Gold digger.
I was howling. So good try there to my buddy Jamie on that one. So along with myself, thankful for winning a shirt for the men's rumble with my weird pick. I had 1, 2, 3, and 30. And so when it became, you guys were a little ahead of me. So when it came to Gunther and Cody, I was like, I've won. And I had to wait because then I saw Kevin's text of like, well, no, Ray didn't enter. And it's really 29. I'm like, oh, come on. So I got a shirt.
But that's the thing that you tried to pull on me 2 years ago.
No, well, it was like
I'm done. I just want to say,
okay,
with the Drew McIntyre win, but it's like you tried to pull that on me too. So I was proud of Kevin for saying that.
The technicalities of technicalities.
Are you guys talking about the Oda lunch in
the
Chicago?
What?
Yes,
that one.
Okay. The lunch.
The long. Yes. Okay, the longest person.
Yeah, it was like exactly.
And I had the longest person in the Rumble and the most eliminations.
Yeah,
and that's why we had to do the
extra that way. Yeah. But Kev
and Brian changed the rules like he's Piper.
So how it goes sometimes. But Kev got a shirt for the women's Rumble, or shirts from the women's Rumble winner of Rhea Ripley. And then the other part of it was we did the Royal Rumble rapid fire game. And I was able to go back and look at all the questions and see how well you guys did. So Joe, we'll run through these that you had real quick. Will we see a WWE Hall of Famer in the Men's Royal Rumble? Yes, you said you had
Booker
two.
T.
There was two, Edge and Booker
T and Edge.
Yeah.
Nice.
Will Naomi enter the Women's Royal Rumble? You said no. That was correct. What woman will have the most eliminations in the Rumble? You said Rhea Ripley. That was correct. I believe she had 5.
Very nice.
This one, you guys, I'll let you guys be the judge. Will a non-wrestling celebrity like a Johnny Knoxville appear in either Rumble? What do you think about Logan Paul? Does he fit that, or is he now
wrestled?
No, he's enough of a wrestler.
No, he's wrestled before. He said no. He is a WWE
wrestler.
Okay,
he is a part-timer, but he's not a celebrity anymore.
Right. Got it. Okay, that's fair. I didn't know where to rank that one.
So what did I say for that one?
You said yes. So we'll say no, you didn't get that one right.
Dang, Drew Carey was busy.
Yeah. Will anyone from New Japan appear in the Men's Rumble? You said yes, Joe. Yes. The answer was no. What number will Cody enter the Rumble?
I really thought the Great Muta was going to do his final tour and actually do it. that's why I knew what you were going with that question, but it didn't happen. And what number?
Yeah, what number Cody entered the Rumble? You said the arbitrary number of number 14. We all know it was 30. Will Ronda Rousey be in the Women's Royal Rumble? You replied, I hope not. And so that's a yes, I guess, because she did not show up.
Counting it.
What woman will be number 30? You had Dewdrop. It was Nia Jax. Number 9, who wins the Women's Royal Rumble? Oh, come on, be nice. Piper Niven was there, not even Dewdrop, but I'm
glad Piper's back.
Yes.
That would have been a controversy.
Yes, if number 30 was Piper Niven and he said
we didn't bet anything, so who cares?
Yeah. But you got the last 2 right. Who wins the Women's Rumble? Rhea. Who wins the Men's Rumble? Cody. So Joe, 6 out of 10.
That's respectable.
Fantastic.
That's damn good.
Absolutely. Kev, to you. Will Sami Zayn enter the Men's Royal Rumble? You said yes. The answer was no. Will Mercedes Moné enter the Women's Rumble? You said yes. The answer is no. Will anyone break Curtis Axel's Royal Rumble length streak? Is Rey Mysterio gonna break it? He didn't even get entered into like the ramp where Axel did. So I don't know. Does that count? Yeah,
we'll see how his final tally is to see what we can get him, because
But the thing is Curtis Axel is a couple years.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Curtis Axel's still in the 2015 Royal Rumble.
So Ray has to. I don't know how he can time travel to make it happen, but All right, so how about that one? Will any wrestler from Impact be in either Royal Rumble? You said no. That was correct. What man will be the number one Royal Rumble entrant? You said Cody. It was Gunther. You had him flipped, Kev. Unbelievable.
Oops.
What woman will have the shortest time in the Rumble? You said Emma, which I think was a really good guess. She might be second shortest to Chelsea.
That's close.
What man from NXT will be in the Royal Rumble? You said Carmelo Hayes. Nobody from NXT for the men's Rumble.
Yeah. I know.
Will The Rock be in the Royal Rumble? You said yes. No, sir. Who wins the women's Royal Rumble? You had Rhea, so you got that one. And who wins the men's Royal Rumble? You said The Rock. Womp womp. So I got three out of 10.
Let's give him are you giving him the one for the Rey Mysterio, the longest streak?
Let's see here. You got Impact,
the Curtis Axel
right?
streak.
You have to.
You had
That was a dud. That was
we'll give
weird
that one
question
to you. We'll give that.
Yeah.
one
So you got
to
4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Technically, I
go,
think I
Kevin.
said The Rock, but I said I really think Cody, but I wanted to say someone different.
Yes,
But
that's true.
doesn't count.
That's
Yeah,
true.
3. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's
We
pretty bad.
won't go over Jason's. He's not here to defend his picks, and if he wants to do it next week when he's back, I have the results.
And
here,
he didn't finish either, so it's like
I know he was
those as
after the
wrong.
buzzer with Cody, so I mean that's already a point deducted.
Joe, do you know what you win?
Fun stuff, guys.
A 12-pack of
Absolutely
Mountain Dew Pitch
nothing.
Black.
Oh, you're gonna take Bray Wyatt's stash from Uncle
I
Howdy.
get a 12-pack of Pitch Black. I just fell
man.
asleep 3 hours ago after drinking that crap.
It took me 4 days to finish it, and I dumped about half of it out. I swear to God, but maybe on Royal Rumble Sunday, the morning after, I was like, "Oh, finally."
Cody's a liar.
Yeah,
delicious.
he loved it. He loved it. Oh, Cody.
Okay, go ahead,
Company
Brian.
man.
He's gonna figure out a way to make it seem like he won.
Who? Jay? Oh, I know.
You.
Oh, what, me? Me? What? What are you talking about?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not in the rapid fire game. No.
Oh, you weren't because you did it. So that's right.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay.
Exactly. So let's move on to Monday night. On Monday Night Raw, we kick off the show with Cody. He confirms it's him, it's Roman, it's Mania. But guys, after the aftermath of the Sami, Roman, Jey Uso, all that breakup, certainly a lot of people thinking, boy, maybe that was the spot. Sami facing Roman at WrestleMania. Does Sami deserve the Mania main event spot versus Roman?
No.
If you're playing Booker, I should say it that way. If you're playing Booker,
No.
what would you do? Okay.
I would not have him. That is not a WrestleMania main event. I'm sorry, it's not. I love Sami, but it's not. There's no. Cody is a story that has been longer than Sami in the bloodline. This has been a year in the making. When he returned last year against Seth, the next night on Raw, he laid out his cards, saying that he wanted what Dusty had in 1978, 6 years before he was born or whatever, and it was always going to be Los Angeles. It's a storybook ending. And quite honestly, let's just go with let's also say another thing as well. His merch is selling like Cena crazy right now. So there are dollar signs all over that guy. He took off the robe. That made him a legend.
Yeah.
There's no other person. He didn't have to be there for the last 7 months because his story was being told the entire time of when's Cody coming back? When's Cody coming back? Sami has done a great job with the bloodline. I agree with what Heyman said on After the Bell a couple months ago of with Sami in the mix, we now know the difference between Jey and Jimmy Uso. He gave them both different personalities.
Yep.
With Sami in the
100%.
mix, he made the tribal chief like human. Like he still looked up upon, but he also is someone who's like, I agree with what you're saying about my cousin. He is a jerk. Like Sami made the bloodline story, which is still going on, longer, gave it more longevity and a different chapters instead of the typical bad guy Uso ference every match. It's now he didn't always need that. Sami has done a great job. They have all done a great job with it. However, this is Cody's time, and it has to be. It's his golden moment, and he's someone that they can put a strap to keep the company moving forward. I just don't see that as Sami. I love Sami, but I don't want to sound like the authority saying that you're a good hand, a B+ player. No, I'm not saying that. He's an A player, just not this WrestleMania. Sorry, it's too big.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and
That's
I'll
fair.
agree with
Kev?
I'll agree with Joe almost on everything. I thought they were going to split the belts. One, I didn't. And when Cody
They
said
still
he's
can.
going after, no, Cody said the entire 6 or 7 words of Universal Undisputed World Champion, yada yada yada. I think
I got 4 words for you. Card subject to change.
correct. Nope. Believe me, I hear you. Sami goes to WrestleMania, loses, steam kind of like deflates a little bit, right? He wins, it's not going to be a longevity type of title reign. Cody on Monday night, there's kids wearing the damn coat in the front row. Did you see the 2 kids? Like, I'm telling you, he is. And I only say it because my son loves Cody, right? But he is my version of Bret Hart, man. These kids, they're gonna eat it up. And it's going to be so much money. Just don't do any weird promos about his family and things like that. His promos are very, very similar. That's
I love the beginning,
right?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah. I knew that
it was like
coming.
almost a year to the day,
right? That he threw that out at AEW. Yeah.
I thought it was the storyline is working, right? Him winning Rumble, him coming out. The Finn match later in the night, I think he needs to have a little rust off and get more and more matches in front of crowds. There was times where I let alone it's Finn and you know what I mean? And Finn is an amazing athlete. I think a little bit has to happen before you make that long match against Roman at WrestleMania, though. I think Cody's got a little work to do.
Okay. Yeah. He's been off for a long time.
I think he had a bad match.
I enjoyed the match.
I thought it was I thought it was a good match for both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought Finn looked really good too. I thought too, Cody, despite like we all said, like, oh, Cody's at 30 and they announced him before that he was in the Rumble. So it didn't have that surprise element like you kind of hoped to have. So you get that reaction. But I think he had a very good reaction from the fans at the Rumble and on Monday's Raw, like you said. We got 2 months until Mania. So we have time to build to this Roman Cody match. However, do you think there's any chance of the crowd turning on Cody and wanting Sami instead based on what we've seen in the Bloodline story, that is?
There's always a chance. There's always a chance, but I think it's going to be slim.
That they could have had a perfect setup with Elimination Chamber in Montreal. I know it's for the US title, but they could have done it for the split the titles. The winner of that gets, you know what I mean, a WrestleMania chance. All 6 pods are filled. Someone gets hurt. Sami's going to take it, even if it's just that sliver of chance and he loses. You know what I mean? Like, you could have told such a good story there. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's somewhat of a missed opportunity. I don't know. But yeah, as Joe said, card subject to change. Totally. Yeah. Maybe they're going to see how Sami does coming out, even starting with tonight. New merch. Right? He's going to come out swinging.
Oh yeah, they showed that on
the
other
hot
day. Yeah.
So,
but you can't go based on what Sami does at Elimination Chamber if they are facing each other because it's in Montreal. It's bizarro world when it comes to it. The crowd's going to be over the moon no matter what. He could go out there and do 3-man band and they would treat it like it was the second coming. So
But to that point though, I'd argue they would do that no matter where the show would be. You heard that pop when he hit that chair on Roman. 45,000 people exploded in San Antonio, Texas. It's a long way from Montreal. I'm telling you guys, I said this months ago, and Joe and I remember Jay both said like, no. But I said, guys, I'm getting the Daniel Bryan Yes Movement vibes. I'm getting the Kofi Mania vibes from Sami Zayn. And here we are 2 months from now. It's as clear as day. It could work. Now, to what I was saying, I think Cody has enough of the fans behind him that they can stay the course and everything will be fine. This isn't a situation of, Batista. No, we don't want you, Batista, as the main event. We want Daniel Bryan. This isn't even, Roman Reigns when he won the Rumble and The Rock came out and they booed him. And they're like, we don't want Roman Reigns. The crowd does like Cody. They love Cody. I just think the momentum of Sami Zayn is just unlike anything I've seen since, again, like I mentioned, Kofi Mania and the Yes Movement.
The difference between this and like comparing it to the Kofi Mania one was for Kofi, there were 2 titles.
Yeah, he could take one of
this
two.
One's not.
Right.
Daniel Bryan was completely organic, and there was only 1 title because Randy had both of them.
Right.
And Batista was gone for a long time, not from injury, just from leaving.
Yeah.
It's different. It's just like I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't get that vibe then before the storyline started. Now the storyline's in its final chapters. I still don't get that vibe. I think that Sammy's done a great job. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you could get away with it, but I'm not gonna do it at the expense of Cody taking away his spot. Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing that I would propose if I were in charge. 2 things, but the first one, I think that if it stays the course, and the likelihood would be at WrestleMania, let's say it's Sami and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the tag team championships. Would you guys do what I would do? And that would main event night 1 with Cody and Roman main eventing night 2. No disrespect to the women or anybody else on the card. Again, I'm just going with, you talk about the hottest angle in wrestling today. And in my opinion, the best story ever. It deserves the main event spot to have Sami and KO triumph over the Usos and win the tag titles.
See, I almost feel like you switch it up. If you're going to go there, take Evan, Sami, Jay, Solo, Roman, Jimmy.
Yes. Yeah, Kev, you started to say that on the reaction pod.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you could do that at Elimination Chamber.
And then if you want, say, I was going to say, if you switched it up, say that headlines night 2, hypothetically. They split up the belts. Cody wins 1 belt. You could have 3-on-3. And then all championships galore, six man.
Mm-hmm.
But
put them all up.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. All winner takes all.
Sammy's got to have a belt. He's done such an incredible job. He deserves a title. If it's world title, probably not. He deserves a title. Just as
From who? Austin Theory or Gunther? Because those 2 deserve their championships as well.
And that's why the tag belts make the most sense.
Yeah.
You're taking out however long the Usos' reign is. You're reuniting with your best friend. That whole dynamic. I mean, I think that's a satisfying conclusion. But again, I think, no disrespect to anybody in the card, that's a main event of WrestleMania. As you put those 4 together and let them tear the house down, and you get this big redemption story of Sami and KO winning the titles. That would be perfect scenario for me. All right, let's move on to some.
When was the last time? What? I didn't get to say my team. When was the last time a tag team main event in WrestleMania? Was it WrestleMania 1?
Probably.
There's that. And that was because a celebrity was involved, and they were just they needed that. A tag team is not a tag team is an Elimination Chamber main event. A tag team is a Backlash main event. It's not a WrestleMania main event. Sorry. And night 1 main event is going to be Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. It has to be. They have to be night 1. And as much as I even called her Charlotte, not she who shall not be pinned. Yeah, but it's that why she's doing this. I think it's a bad idea, but either way, Charlotte's going to win. Even if she loses, she'll show up on Raw and take Bianca's belt and get number 15.
Would it be your
classic
worst
So-
nightmare,
There it
Joe?
is.
If it's Rhea Charlotte night 1, they're just like, Charlotte's gonna be like, I challenge you to night 2 main event, and Joe gets Charlotte Flair headlining both nights of WrestleMania.
That won't happen. Come on.
Well,
Come on,
of course,
Kevin.
I'm saying it's
No,
your
no,
it's your-
no.
Joe's nightmare
My
scenario.
nightmare scenario for WrestleMania would have been Charlotte versus Nia. That got taken out. So I was I was happy about that when it's like, as much as I would love to see, I would have loved to see basically Rhea versus Bianca, because we know that those two can have an amazing feud. This one just makes sense. She's a veteran now. She's not the rookie. She didn't get her WrestleMania moment against Charlotte because it was at the I wasn't there WrestleMania
Pandemic,
of 2020 with no fans.
Yeah.
So this is the redemption. And again, Charlotte's everything Rhea said was right. It's like, I have to earn my spot, but you just get title spots, whatever you want. And I want to change the thing. Problem is, she's not going to, because of, like, I don't mean to be negative, but the writing's on the wall. Charlotte loses to Rhea. Rhea is on SmackDown with Dom harassing Ray.
Mhm.
Charlotte's just going to move to Raw and get the belt from Bianca.
Yeah, well, time will tell. We'll say you heard it here first if that's indeed what happens. But yeah, I still, again, just going on, and they can get there. It's 2 months away, but the crowd investment is Sami and KO versus the Usos. That's my main event if I'm Booker. But again, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And I get where you're coming from with Charlotte and Rhea. Kev, your reaction to Charlotte and Rhea, did you think that was a good choice? Would you maybe have done Bianca?
Bianca, amazing talent, amazing in the ring, amazing on the mic. I feel that I feel that we need a high level person for Charlotte, right? Charlotte's been getting cheered. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, not by Joe, but
not by
most
Joe.
other people.
But people are also cheering Rhea. Will they cheer her louder than Charlotte? Like,
It's fair.
I feel that, especially with the press conference with Rhea, like you have to see her emotion, and it's a beautiful thing. I just feel that the right choice was made. It's her redemption, beating Charlotte. I feel like there's who will go against Bianca. That's the biggest.
It's
that elimination chamber is going to be exactly
chamber.
entertaining, but like Nikki Cross, Carmella,
Well,
like it's not.
yeah.
I just feel that it's more going to be a situation of
the new Asuka.
I know, but she has to stop smiling. That's my biggest thing with the new Asuka.
But those,
It's
but,
an evil smile.
Yeah, it's
With-
evil. Like
with-
that's
It's like
your
blue
mania.
I'm
goo
creeping
coming
you
out.
out. Yeah, here's my blue
and
goo
it will probably
smile.
be match. It'll be match 1 on night 2.
Yeah, but she made the right choice. Rhea did.
And again, I'm saying it's the only choice. It was the only logical one. It's the star maker choice. You have to go against Charlotte.
To be perfectly honest, though, the lead up to it with Charlotte's going to be way better than it would have Bianca, right? Both matches would have been incredible athleticism inside the ring. Just the lead up. That's the best thing with Charlotte.
Yeah.
History, lead up. Shit, Rhea could get she could literally beat Charlotte. Charlotte could come out, challenge Bianca. Then Rhea could come out and say, why not me? No.
Joe's cutting you off.
Who knows?
I'm cutting you off this time. Yeah.
Stop it.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this.
Then have Nia come out too and just ruin my life.
And Baron Corbin's the special referee, Joe. It's a dream.
Corbin doesn't bother me anymore because they've totally ruined him.
He's
it's
been
like,
down.
I feel bad for the guy now.
Okay.
Run down. How about this? Brian, run down all the women that are currently set to be in the women's elimination chamber match right now.
Yeah, I think it's the final 4 of the Rumble.
Yep.
Which was Raquel, Liv, Asuka, and Nikki Cross.
Yep.
And then we've got your qualifier match coming up on Monday. It's a fatal 4-way, and we've got a returning Carmella. We have Michin Mia Yim, Piper Niven, and Candice LeRae. So we'll have I think so. I think there'll be one more spot. Maybe there'll be a SmackDown final one too.
Probably throw
for the Raw Women's title though.
Well, this one, because it's Raquel Gonzalez was in the final 4.
That's right,
She's
that's right.
SmackDown,
Okay, right.
so I think they're kind of saying, hey, either brand can work with this one. But yeah, I'm just thinking there's 6 for the Elimination Chamber. They went with the final 4. So that's my guess is we're going to get one more from Raw, one more from SmackDown. Maybe we'll find out more later tonight. I don't know. I mean, it's always tough whenever someone returns, you kind of feel like they have the inside because they've been gone for so long and you want to bring excitement about the return. So in my head, I think maybe Carmella is the pick for that match.
Because we saw her Piper 1 day later than Piper.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So Raquel good, Liv good, Asuka bad, Nikki Cross bad.
Yeah.
The only person logical on SmackDown would have to be Sonya Deville or Lacey Evans, which I'm going to guess Lacey Evans.
Yeah, I can see that.
So then that leaves someone good. Is Piper good?
I don't know.
Or is she bad?
Don't know yet. Yeah.
Because it's either Piper or Carmella.
Will Nia be on SmackDown?
Hope not.
Joe doesn't hope, just like Ronda Rousey. Yeah, what about Ronda Rousey? Is she gonna be there? Who knows?
Here's the thing.
Those Shayna Baszler should be the one who faces then.
That was on the tip of my tongue there.
That would be good. I would take Shayna. And then if she lost against Bianca, maybe Shayna goes against Bianca, Ronda comes back at Mania and helps Shayna or something. With some shenanigans. Out of those people, the only one I would legitimately want is Asuka. And then what? She loses against Bianca? And then it's all for nothing?
It's the blue mist in the eyes, and she wins. Who knows?
It's
out
of those bums, I would either pick Raquel would be great. I think she's just too green, but Asuka would be the solid choice.
Yeah.
But this could be Asuka's redemption story too, because she got hosed by Charlotte at WrestleMania as well after winning the Rumble.
Well, we all think that the return at the Rumble with the new look and the new attitude was a great first step in the redemption of Asuka, of just like, oh yeah, that you are a badass, you're a killer. We know what you can do in the ring. It's time to just show it now that you got your look and personality back.
Like, she's not just like, I got to go with Asuka. And I can see Asuka beating.
Yeah, new music.
But we'll deal with that in like 60 days.
Yeah. We've
59
got some
days,
time.
No matter how many days. We got time.
I've seen a couple of, fan graphic of like, what do you think of this WrestleMania card? And it's a lot of it, I think you can kind of piece together, like Logan and Seth. There's been the rumor of like Austin Theory and Cena. And I see those and I'm like, hell yeah, this looks great. But we're a little ways away before we really get to plan that out and see what is going to be happening come.
But after the Rumble, this is the last thing about it, like the whole fantasy booking thing, because we got time. Which match would you prefer? Brock Lashley, Brock Gunther. After the Rumble, seeing them like they were all in action and the seeds were planted for both of them. Kevin, which one did you say again?
We are getting Brock and Lashley at Elimination Chamber, right?
Oh, we are? I don't think that's
nothing's official, but
okay.
No. It could. If or they could hold off to Mania.
If nothing happens until Mania, give me Brock and Gunther.
All right.
Just because I've seen Brock and Bobby on and off,
Yeah.
just kicking each other's butt.
But the thing is,
match
like, Brock and Bobby it would be awesome too.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong.
It's got to be the
both great.
three-way, man. No, then everyone wins.
Yeah. No, there's no wrong direction. And that's the fun thing is, let's say they go with Bobby now, that could mean SummerSlam Gunther, right? We can do that match later as long as Brock
hopefully
wants
in Detroit.
Plus, I love the way Brock says Bobby.
Yeah, yeah. Cowboy Brock's got a little fun on his pronunciations there. Well, two people that it looks like will not be there, or at least in a wrestling capacity. Let it be known, because I remember Jason said in the Rumble reaction pod, he goes, Rock comes out at the end of night 2 and sets up a SummerSlam match. So we'll see. That was what he thought there. But according to Meltzer, Steve Austin turned down the option to wrestle at Mania 39. Again, maybe he appears, but won't be in the ring doing a match after offered matchups with both Brock and Roman Reigns. As far as The Rock, again, same thing. Could be there, but the story, Roman Reigns, I think, talked about it on, was it on Jimmy Fallon, right?
Yeah,
Fallon, yeah.
Saying he doesn't think he could be in ring shape, in proper ring shape. Doesn't have enough time for that. But
he's got 2 out of 3. Yep.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. Yeah, the nutrition, the physique. Yeah. And here's the kicker of this line. But he apparently left the door open for WrestleMania 40 in 2024. And I had a bit of an eye roll for that because I feel like we've been waiting for this for a couple of years now. And if it's not happening this time, I'm kind of ready for it to move on, honestly. But your guys' reaction doesn't look like we're going to be getting either of these legends at Mania, whereas, we had this conversation about a month ago, let's say, we probably would have had complete opposite answers of going, cool, we're going to get an Austin match and we're going to get Rock and Roman.
Yeah, I would say if Steve would have went against Brock, I feel like Brock would hurt him with all those suplexes. Right. In Brock,
That's
it's
fair.
So aggressive because Dawkins landed on his freaking head during the Rumble, and I was like, ooh, right. I would hate to see Steve get hurt. I don't think that's the matchup at all. I don't think the storyline, and Steve's smart, right? Him and KO was perfection. The lead up, KO, Brock, he's amazing in the ring. But on the mic, I just don't think he would have held his own, and then the storyline wouldn't have been there against Roman. But a guy like KO last year, it just worked organically between those two. I'm a little bummed about.
And don't forget, Jason and I called it.
I'm a little bummed about the Rock, right? I feel like that could have been a really fun moment. But if he comes out that end of night 2, like Jay predicted, I'll love it. I'll love it. Or at least, you know what I mean? Don't come out there and say, hey, we're going to wrestle 1 year from now. No, I liked it when Cena and him did that, like the rematch, because it worked great because they wrestled just then. Like, I don't know. SummerSlam or nothing. That I'll agree with Jason.
Joe?
I think Austin got his closure. I think he turned it down because he doesn't need it. He got his closure. He had his final match in Texas, WrestleMania, against, the Steve Austin of now, which is Kevin Owens, because he can go good or bad. The people are still going to give him the working man's reaction no matter what. And Rock at WrestleMania, I like the idea of him coming out at the end to take his place at the head of the table after Roman loses, because that feud is so big, it doesn't need a championship.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin, let's think about this. What would be the better story? He challenges them at SummerSlam in to be determined, but possibly Detroit, or already booked Philadelphia this city where he rose his hand and got booed out of the building. There's your story. Rock was not happy about that. He's like, I tried and they booed me.
The home of Rocky Balboa. The Rock
Right.
returns.
But it was in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is like, where Roman won the Royal Rumble and Rock got booed out of the building.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that did happen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I wasn't thinking like that because for the longest time I had the same idea of like, okay, love Rock and Roman. Don't do it for the title. We don't need the title. So I can picture that scenario and going, okay, let's do that.
But The Rock is so busy with so many other things
right.
that it's like, is it fan service that we want him back? Is that why?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really realistic that he would ever wrestle again?
Yeah, I mean, that's where my head was like, this is the time. Like, if it's now or never. Like, let's get this done. It's LA. A lot of talk about, hey, you're promoting the XFL, which you're an owner of, so it's gonna be kicking off. Like,
he's
there's
turning
more
51 this year.
Right. So that's it. You're not getting any younger. Let's do it in LA. I'm presuming that's where he lives. So it feels like a missed opportunity.
Who knows? He could live in Miami.
Yeah,
he can live wherever he wants.
Well, yeah, he probably has multiple homes, knowing his wealth. But nevertheless, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. But again, kind of teasing what I've kind of seen as like, ooh, this is what the card might look like. I think we'll be okay. Want to back up real quick, guys, because I wanted to get your thoughts on who the final two men will be in the Elimination Chamber. We're going to have that on Monday. It's a splitting of the Street Profits. We got Montez versus Elias and Dawkins versus Damian Priest. I am going to go with...
We're all going to say the same.
I don't know, because I'm thinking a little different, I think. I'm going with Damian Priest over Dawkins, but I'm going with Elias over Montez. And I'll tell you why. Kevin, you pointed this out in the Rumble reaction pod, how it seemed like it was a little weird with Montez, right? Mm-hmm. He was eliminated pretty quickly. The family was right there, like in the front row, kind of like giving him a look. Maybe that's what they're going for, is some sort of like the Street Profits have lost their way sort of thing. Okay. I know that him and Bianca's reality show is starting. They talked about how that's going to be coming. So like, now I'm watching that and going like, is that going to be a storyline for the show of like, oh, Montez is on a losing streak? So I think on the surface, I would go Montez all the way. But I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to say Elias gets a win because of some sort of Montez isn't doing it just how he should be doing it.
Well, that's great.
Thanks.
Oh, I like that. I definitely think Damian Priest is going to win. And I was actually thinking Ford over Elias.
Yeah, easy. Sure.
So yeah. I loved your take on it. Developing.
I hope I'm wrong.
Ford losing kind of like his way type thing.
That was a quick elimination at the Rumble for somebody who is so talented.
Yeah.
And you feel the company would have so much. I mean, yeah, he's getting his own show with Bianca. Like that's somebody that you push normally. So something seems fishy, and I'm going to say it maybe continues on Monday.
So the prediction of we'd all have the same is completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying Angelo Dawkins beats Damian Priest.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'm saying that Elias beats Montez Ford through bad interference by Angelo Dawkins to set up the Street Profits clash at WrestleMania. That sets up the reality show.
And then that would be match one of night one.
That'd be fun, though. That'd be fun.
Match one always has to be a good match.
No, it is true. Match two.
It would be match 2 of night one.
The downer match, but I hate that spot. Obviously,
the Jericho Owens match,
spot. Right? But I'm sure those guys
terrible
would kill
spot.
It. Yeah, but they kill it. Dawkins has probably been one of the most improved wrestlers, it seems, the last year or so. He does a lot of great stuff.
And it doesn't work for the Judgment Day's storyline to have Damian Priest in it.
With the U.S. title. Yeah.
it gives
Okay.
him something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he's amazing. I gotta say Dawkins is the way to go. So the prediction of we'd all say the same thing.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
could
All
not have been
three
any
are
more
wrong.
different. Yeah.
Excellent. We'll find out
And
if one of us is right.
Let's hear. I'm gonna do the headset right now. Jason on the cruise is saying Dawkins and Ford both win. I'm right. You guys are wrong.
Got it. Street Profits moving on. So now we have 4 brand new predictions for what happens on Monday. One of us is bound to be right, I hope.
Yes.
Let's move on. So this Saturday, I believe it's Saturday, right? It's not Sunday, NXT Vengeance Day.
It's Saturday.
All right, Saturday night.
Saturday.
Yeah, they're on the road, which is cool, getting out of the Performance Center. They're in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'll go over the card. There are 6 matches, which is, I think, usually the NXT takeover type shows, 5 or 6 matches, which makes for like a tidy 2.5, maybe 3-hour show tops, which I love. We've got women's tag titles. We got Kaden Carter, Katana Chance versus Fallon Henley, Kiana James, Carmelo versus Apollo, 2 out of 3 falls, Wesley versus Dijak for the NXT North American Championship. We've got the 4-way for the tag titles, the New Day, Pretty Deadly, Gallus, and Chase U with Andre Chase University. The women's, we got a triple threat, Roxanne, JC Jane, Gigi Dolan, and Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, steel cage match. Guys, we'll talk kind of what we're looking forward to, maybe any predictions. I've been really impressed with Grayson Waller. He's, I think he's great on the microphone. He's a very believable character, and he's pretty darn good in the ring. So I think maybe, I kind of feel like, is this maybe the start of all right, it's time to get Braun Breaker up to the main roster, like the Raw after WrestleMania. Maybe that's the right time. So I'd like to see that. And I'm sure the 2 out of 3 Carmelo Apollo will have, more than one moment of just insanity. So don't really care who wins. Both guys are fantastic. But I expect to see something that's going to go, oh yeah, this is good wrestling. So those are my big ones.
That one, that's a match we win.
It's going to be fun.
Win or lose, that's going to be awesome. And it's like, and good for Apollo. He made the right call. Like, you have an opportunity to go down to NXT, but he's making a name for himself again and like showing everybody who he is and who we saw years ago. And it's like, he was always one of those guys where it's like, I felt they brought him up too soon.
Yes.
And he floundered.
Agree.
They brought him up way too soon. And this is a make good. This is Triple H doing like, this is the way it should have been. And now Apollo is considered like, I can't wait to see an Apollo Crews match.
Yes.
Who would have predicted that in 2023? It's like, man, this weekend Apollo Crews is going to like have a 2 out of 3 falls. Yeah. Can't wait for that. It could main event WrestleMania. But anyway,
move over Sami Zayn.
And Brian, I move over Sami Zayn. This is
I'm booking him. I'm telling him. Yes, Apollo Mania.
Sami Zayn versus Apollo Crews.
Now we're talking.
3 out of 5
match. Yes.
But so that's the obvious one. Brian, I wasn't even thinking of it because I thought that Braun Breaker was like a given that he was going to win and he would lose. The only time he would lose would be takeover weekend in Los Angeles
at Mania
to set him up for Raw after Mania. But I like the idea of him losing now and then having his rematch that one,
which they can do,
and then come up. I didn't even think about that, but it's this is Braun Breaker's on his final minutes of NXT.
I think so.
I think I said last year that he'd be on WrestleMania this year. Wrong, but I think that's the right call from you on that one, Brian.
Thanks.
I think the card looks fun, right? So you got a little I'll say refresh with Apollo, refresh with New Day, mixing in with a lot of because Apollo's so talented. Carmelo is on another level, right? Braun Breaker I do think he loses, right? And Grayson Waller, I'm not just a fan because he was on the Australian version of Survivor, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I remember back in the day, like, wearing the boxing shorts,
Yes,
like his
that was
get up,
his
and I'm
first
just
look,
like,
yeah.
just like, wow, this dude, like, and I was annoyed with him, and then like, the talent and seeing him more, and that's the beautiful thing with NXT, because we're like, are we ever going to get the golden age of NXT, right? With all the high of the high. So I feel like NXT, they get like a good footing, and then like they kind of churn them out. Doesn't work, churn them out. But I feel like Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller, I think that the 4-way tag matches are going to be incredibly fun. The 3-way ladies match, I Roxanne was in the Rumble.
Yeah.
There's no way she's
Right.
losing that.
But
I feel like it's going to be a lot of 2-on-1. We'll probably see a lot of, the toxic ladies going against each other at some point, like maybe, I'm going to pin her, pull her off,
right,
those type of
classic
shenanigans. But Roxanne, I feel like is going to win like a quick roll up or something and get out of there. Excuse me. In Wesley, that's going to just be high flying versus beat the crap out of a high flyer. But I think it's a fun card. It's going to, I feel like it's, they're very standard on their 2.5, hours, like you said, 2.5, 3 hours. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be nice that they're getting out of the center, bigger crowd. I feel like it deserves it. These guys deserve it. So it'll be nice to see how they react in front of that bigger crowd. That's going to be the nice thing.
Agree. Yeah, I follow, it's Wrestle Tickets or Wrestle Tix, TIX on Twitter, and they do the reporting of the attendance at wrestling shows. And I think it was close to 5,000 as last count. So they're going to have a nice number compared to whatever the Performance Center holds, like 100 to 200 people. So yeah, that'll be fun to see those reactions from a nice sized crowd compared to what they normally have. So looking forward to that.
I feel like this era of NXT, we talk about the golden age, the black and golden age. That was more indie-rific NXT.
Oh, yeah.
It was like they all made their name somewhere else.
Yeah.
This is the golden era of homegrown talent.
Yes. Yeah.
They're all like they're not from anywhere else. This is something to watch. This is something to, like, I really need to focus more on NXT now instead of the Wednesday night show. To be honest with you, I feel like that the NXT now is surpassing AEW.
Well, we can get into that. So I wanted to, that's something that we didn't plan on talking about, but it was something you brought up, Joe, right before we got on the air about watching AEW. We all watched it on Wednesday night, and you came away with a certain feeling.
Well, Kevin said this feeling. Kevin, how did you describe Dynamite? Kevin, give credit where credit's due.
I said, like, and I think I used the word, I'm like, it's just like blah or there. I watch it because I enjoy the product. It's just not moving the needle. Like it's not that it's a chore to watch. I just don't. And it's weird because Raw, remember, we were like, oh, it's good. We're watching it to keep the streak going of never not watching it. But then it's like AEW's creeping up. Now Cody went. Now I'm not using that as a firm excuse, right? Of why it's not good.
A bad one.
And then it's the uncertainty of is FTR going to go? Are there going to be more people? And it's just, I don't know. The storylines are good, but it's a good product. I don't know. I'm getting bored. And I'm not in, like,
that's what you said, bored.
I'm getting bored. I find myself playing on my phone at times, a lot of times.
I agreed with you, but I said it wasn't their fault. This is reminding me. I said it wasn't their fault. I said it's not AEW's fault that Kevin is getting bored. I said that because it's reminded me of the year 1998. WWF was so good. WCW was still good.
Yeah.
But it was been there, done that. They were still in their same, like, they plateaued. while AEW is still doing the same type of storylines. Like we're doing for the third, fourth year in a row, MJF of you have to follow all these challenges to face me.
Right.
Cody did it. CM Punk did it. Wardlow did it.
Jericho,
and now Bryan Danielson's doing it. Oh, and Jericho, that's 5.
Yeah.
That's
he
5
had to
people
fight
had to do the same
Juventud
thing.
yeah, all these things.
Yeah. Okay, so we have that. And the Elite as a trios champion aren't doing anything for me because the Elite's not doing anything for me to begin with. But they're okay. Their matches are good, but it's like they're just there.
Yeah.
And now Soraya's a heel all of a sudden, and Britt's a face.
Mm-hmm.
But what about
it's
Ricky Starks having to go through multiple members of the appreciation?
Right. It's the gauntlet of Jericho.
It's the same thing.
It's
the same. Like they're doing the same thing, just like '98 WCW was doing. It was entertaining. They finally like, oh, we're going to change the NWO up and make it NWO Hollywood versus Wolfpack. Okay. Goldberg streak happened in '98. Okay. Diamond Dallas Page, Karl Malone. Like it was good. It wasn't Austin McMahon.
Right.
It wasn't Nation versus DX. WWE is so much better now that it's making that. That's why I say it's not AEW's fault. The competition just got better.
They stepped it up. Yeah.
But do you know what's going to make it better? AEW making that house show to Troy, Ohio.
I know. That was the other thing I did actually want to talk about. But before we get into those details, guys, I'm with you. I'm 1,000% with you. I watch it. The matches are entertaining as far as in-ring quality, but there's something missing for me. There's something missing, and I think it is that engaging story. And I think right now, because of just how successful and how engaged I am in the Bloodline story, it makes everything else on WWE programming like that much better, because this is the best thing. I'm saying it. I keep saying it. It's the best thing I've ever seen. It really is. If you would have the big sit down debate about like the NWO or Austin McMahon or something, we could do that some other day. But I love this. And I feel like that being there just brings everything up else a level, and AEW doesn't have that right now. They just don't. So like, again, the in-ring quality is good. The other thing though I've noticed, and I feel like this was really bad lately, and WWE still does this, but there was a time maybe a year ago that they were doing this all the time, and now AEW is doing it. The championship contenders match. If I beat the champion, then I get a match with the champion for the actual title. That they're doing that, I think, on Rampage Friday with Jamie Hayter. Who was it that the bunny challenged her on Dynamite? I don't know if the bunny's gonna win, but like that seems to be something.
But who watches Rampage?
I usually, if it's live, I might. If it's live, if it's taped, I forget it's on half the time, honestly. But yeah, that's another one that's just like, oh, like I don't like that to begin with. Like you can have a number one contenders match and do it, or just set it up something backstage, but the championship challenger match, blah. And, you know, again, like I said, I'm not completely bashing AEW. That's kind of been the story right now of Charlotte and Sonya, of like, wait a minute, I already wrestled you and I beat you, but I want another match for the title. Like, oh, but I already beat you. So I think that might be like my biggest pet peeve at like lazy wrestling booking is I'm going to wrestle you. Okay, but now you lost, but I want to wrestle you again. But you lost. Get in the back of the line.
We'll do it again.
Yeah,
and bad production too.
I pointed that out.
Socials too. Woo.
Yeah, that was our. Let's go to Renee Paquette with the AEW champion, and there's Roosh with some girl.
Here's the thing,
like,
Brian.
What is going on? I am so lost.
I'm gonna guess that Kevin is gonna be in agreement with me. We didn't pick up on it live because we were probably on our phones.
Yeah.
Didn't pick up on it live because we weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of people are the same way as you guys, but I did. And I was
here comes Renee Paquette with the AEW champion. I had to watch that twice and go like, oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
I did say that.
And it was did I hear that right? And I rewound it because I'm like, what just happened here? And the segment right before was the MJF Takeshita like backstage
And he's wearing a different
brawl
shirt.
Right. So I'm like, so in that time, and he was like cool as a cucumber, like, you know, hey, compadre, dinero. You know, I was like, this doesn't. It's like those segments went out of order. Like that should have been at the beginning of the show or something, and then the brawl later. I don't know what happened there, but I caught it and was like, this is not correct. This can't be right.
See, that was something it's like I noticed in like old like 90s sitcoms where it's like the housewife comes in and the grocery bag is paper and they cut and the next one is plastic and the next one is paper. Like little things like that I always pick up on. But I did not notice MJF's shirt was completely different and not anything a minute later.
Yeah. At that WrestlePod, if you're listening to this and you didn't catch it either, you'll see the video. Not Renee and random girl interviewing our AEW champion Roosh back there. I don't think that was
AEW champion. Here comes Renee Burkett with the interview with the AEW champion. Not Renee, not MJF.
Not the champion. It was a mess. But like you said, Kev, they did announce that AEW is beginning house shows. They're going to start in March. They are calling it AEW House Rules. The first one, taking place March 18th, a Saturday night, Troy, Ohio. I had no idea where that was. And Kevin, you just happened to have a work engagement nearby just a few short weeks ago.
In Troy, Ohio.
In Troy, Ohio.
Where is
Did you drive
Troy,
by
Ohio?
The arena? Yes.
I didn't even know there was an arena.
Right.
So like,
is it in the Nutter Center?
The Nutter Center.
I was really looking at the dates. I'm like, please let this be like a random third, like a work day, right? Because I'm like, it'd be sweet if I could work it out. Because I tried to go to another plant, one of my job facilities that I work with, in Franklin, Ohio, which is like 20 minutes outside Dayton, but it couldn't work yesterday because I was like, oh man, that would be sweet. Timing didn't work out. I saw Troy. I'm like, shut up. But yeah, Troy is just like, I don't know, there.
Yeah.
I
live in Ohio. I don't know where it's at.
It's like, I Googled it. It's like 2 hours away from Toledo.
Yeah. The Hobart Arena. So I don't know who usually performs at Hobart. Yes. The Hobart Arena.
Not to be confused with Slut Marge.
I don't know. I don't know who is the usual tenant in the Hobart Arena. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I think this
I'm guessing the Journey cover band.
Yeah, maybe a whole slew of cover bands every other Saturday.
Air Supply will be there this weekend.
Yeah.
Hold up. It doubles as a roller rink. Okay.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Oh, then that
now
means
I have to really look this up there.
And Cult Jam playing there.
Yeah. But what do you think about this, guys? I mean, the one thing I will say, we're talking about how the TV kind of boring us right now. I think I would still, if it was in a drivable distance, I would go to a house show because I'm not expecting the stories and I just want, when you go to a house show, you're just expecting enjoyable wrestling matches, and AEW delivers that each and every week. So what do you guys see? You guys feel like kind of like I'm thinking?
I like it. I think it's cool. And by the way, it looks like they have like, I don't think it's a minor league hockey team.
Okay,
it looks
too.
Very, very small, like maybe 15 rows.
Well, that looks like Fraser Hockeyland.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Maybe they'll play like Fraser Hockeyland then.
It doesn't look like it's that big of a place. I
would come back home for that.
I do enjoy it. I feel that they are hitting the ground running because they announced Mox, they announced Britt Baker, they announced Orange Cassidy, they announced like big names. I feel like this is going to be later down the road, like a Rampage tour type thing. Like you're not going to get huge names the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be like they're traveling up and comers, like Dark, as Joe said, like their version of NXT on the road.
Yeah.
But out of Troy, Ohio, it's a Saturday. The only bad thing is it's during March Madness. That's the only bad thing.
That's probably the first weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kevin, the way our team's playing, we're not going to get past the first weekend. So,
Oh, and the nice thing is, and if we did the first four, usually that plays
in
right down the
Dayton.
road in Dayton, Ohio.
There you go.
So-
Make it a long
There you go.
weekend, guys.
No, I
Yeah.
like it. I think it's smart. Hopefully it works
Yeah.
out for Tony. It's ambitious. I'll give him
Yeah.
that.
I mean, the
it's not
roster's so
ambitious, it's
big.
business.
The roster's so big, it's going to hopefully give some of these guys like, every now and again, and there was 2 instances on Dynamite on Wednesday that I'm like, oh yeah, with guys. This week it was Jungle Boy, who just had a little like 10-second promo. And it's like, oh yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you wrestle in a month. And Wardlow, who came out at the end of the show after Samoa Joe won. And it's like, oh yeah, you've been gone too. They have such a big roster that hopefully can give some guys, some reps and some exposure in front of live crowds that they don't usually get. Here are some of these are legit. Here are some of the other upcoming events at the Hobart Arena. This next Saturday, we have the Greater Midwestern Cheer Expo. February 17th through the 19th is the Miami County Home and Garden Show. March 3rd and 4th is the Ohio State Division III Wrestling Tournament. So it's wrestling, but it's more that mat-based high school wrestling, not AEW wrestling.
Greco-Roman.
Greco-Roman, yes. Catch as catch can. I don't know. Sunday, March 12th, Ohio's first Lego League Challenge for students in grades 4 through 8. Are you aware of any of that, Joe? Does that ring a bell to you?
I don't teach in Ohio.
I don't know. I don't know if there's like a Lego League thing for kids.
Oh yeah, there is. It's
That's
like
what it
there's
is
a
then,
Lego and like robotics and using Legos to make rope. Like there's STEM. There's a whole thing about Legos. Yes, it's big.
Okay. Your AEW is Saturday, March 8th, March 18th. Tickets are 20, 35, 45, and 75. So 75 must be your ringside seats for that.
Ringside Jessica.
And then there's your chance. And then so one artist I've actually heard of. Thursday, March 30th, Travis Tritt.
Oh, okay.
Good guess. Travis Tritt will be in performance there. So
wonderful mullet from that man.
And then you can stay right by where I work. There's a establishment you can sleep at night called Motel.
Only the finest.
I kid you not anything nice. It's a sign.
The T is burned out.
Yeah.
So it's Moel, but it's there.
Not to be confused with the Dad's Inn in Lansing, Michigan.
The Dad's Inn.
Wow.
Man. Well, hey, we'll see how it goes. I do hope.
Yeah, I'm hoping it works great.
Absolutely. So we'll wrap up the show with some sad news, guys. Came out earlier on Thursday. The passing of Lanny Poffo, the genius, at age 68 years old. The announcement was actually made by Hacksaw Jim Duggan on Twitter. He wrote, quote, "With a very, very heavy heart, I've been asked to let everyone know about the passing of our friend and colleague, Lanny Poffo, the genius. Rest in peace, Lanny." And of course, Lanny, the brother of the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And I mean, I can just remember, from his heyday of being a kid, and man, did people boo him. Like, he'd come out and do his poems before the match, and people hated him. People hated the genius. And it was just like, that's a great quintessential 80s WWF character, the genius. I'm smarter than all of you. Before we officially close out the pod, we're going to play the cameo that we got of Lanny Poffo for Joe's birthday this past June. Yeah, friend of the show. So that one was sad news, guys. Any other Lanny Poffo memories for you?
It took me years to figure out that he was related to Macho Man.
Yeah.
But that was awesome because they didn't play that off. It's like they were each their own characters. And then when like the genius coronated Macho King, it's like that's things that I love
now
about growing up. It made sense, but he just seemed like such a stand-up guy too. He always protected his family, and he protected the relationship between Macho and Elizabeth too. He wouldn't let him be like thrown in the mud.
That's
a good brother. Yes. That's a good guy. And I'm actually proud of the fact that I got the cameo from him wishing me a happy birthday. He doesn't know me. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. But I got that connection, and I'm very happy about that.
Kev, anything else memory-wise? Or
I'll say this: like 68's pretty good age, right? Still
good.
young overall, but
It's still young. I think it's too young. My dad passed away at 68. Young. It's too young.
All I can imagine is Macho waiting to nail him with a big elbow when he sees him, right? No, he was always protective, right? Of Macho, especially when was that at the dark side where it kind of threw his name in the mud a lot?
No, it was A&E. It was A&E.
Oh, it was A&E.
It was A&E's biography.
And he wasn't there to protect himself, like how Luger, right? He was like, we thought that one was totally different because Luger was there to tell about it, where Macho wasn't given that right. So
no, they gave it to what was her name? I don't even Major Gun. No, not Major Guns. Whatever that. Who cares?
Yeah,
Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George. Yes.
Yeah, but
Gorgeous George.
He seemed like I wasn't a fan growing up. Like as you mentioned, they never put him together as the Macho Men or something. But
the Macho Men. Yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's like it's a name. Like we know the name. Our generation, they're gonna start leaving us, and that's a bummer, right?
It is. And like you said, both of you guys said about what a good brother it was. When you listened and rewatch this cameo again, he, goes through the notes that we entered for the request of the cameo. And he's like, and Joe, it says that Macho Man was your favorite wrestler. And there's a tenderness in his voice. He goes, mine too. And I was like, that's really sweet, really sweet. So we will play that out to wrap up this week's show. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Kevin, for your guys' great participation. Salute to Jay on the cruise. We can't wait to hear all the stories.
Ahoy.
When he gets back. Ahoy, ahoy. Come sail away with Jay on the Jericho cruise, 4-leaf clover.
More like Chips Ahoy.
He's going to have fun. Hopefully we got some karaoke stories and all that.
Well, no, I'm not saying he likes cookies. I'm just saying.
No, but
Chips Ahoy. Yes. But awesome, guys, at That Wrestle Pod for all your socials and youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Please share, subscribe. We'd love to get more and more listeners and get to 4,000 subscribers of YouTube by Wrestlemania, which is about 2 months away. Crazy. Let's see here. I'm gonna sneeze. There it is. Tried to wrap it up before I could sneeze. Couldn't do it. Maybe we'll edit that in post-production. Maybe not. All right. Rest in peace, Lanny Poffo. Enjoy wrestling. We'll talk to you next week.
Hello, my name is Lanny Poffo, formerly the genius of WWE. And here I am in the city. If you can hear the beeping of the horns, I'm in Quito, Ecuador. It should come as no surprise to you. It is the capital of Ecuador, and I'm right in the middle of the city. To Joe, from Brian, Jason, Kevin, and That Wrestling Podcast. Birthday, June the 21st. I think today's the 20th. I'm not sure. Turning 43. Please wish Joe a happy birthday from his friends on That Wrestling Podcast. More about Joe. Joe's a big WWF/E fan. Loved you as the genius. Thank you. And Macho Man is his all-time favorite. Mine too. He's a teacher, so he says he is smarter than you to his friends. Well, I have to go along with that because I can get anything I want because of my high school diploma. And I started wrestling. I graduated high school in 73. Started wrestling immediately in June of 73, and it was a 21-year career. So let me start with, since Macho Man is your all-time favorite, let me give the most famous poem I've ever done for him. I stand before the Hall of Fame in honor of my brother who seized each Carpe Diem day with passion like no other. Born Randy Mario Poffo, he became the Macho Man. Randy Savage made it cool to be a wrestling fan. His match with Ricky Steamboat in 1987 was on a scale of 1 to 10, much better than 11. He snapped into a Slim Jim with his iconic voice. He earned a role in Spider-Man, which made his fans rejoice. When the Mega Powers exploded, the storyline was real. Life's too short to hold a grudge. It's time for us to heal. In triumphant jubilation, we celebrate his name. Finally, the Macho Man is in the Hall of Fame. Thank you. And I'm going to take my Panama hat off, and you'll find I'm a little messy here. But let me just say this. Brian, Jason, Kevin, and that Wrestling Show podcast, thank you for choosing me to do this. And I really don't have any interaction with the fans anymore, except through my Cameo, so I appreciate it very much. And I would like to say, happy birthday to you. Birthday wishes by the score. We wish you a happy birthday and many, many more. So, Joe, thank you very much. Have a great birthday. I think it's tomorrow. And you should be on summer vacation, I guess. So, it doesn't say here where you're from. I'm from Chicago and living in Quito, Ecuador. Can you believe it? I always read about the land of eternal springtime. And here it is, 48 degrees low, 68 degrees high every single day. And it's fresco, not frio. Okay, have a good day. Thank you so much, and thank you for choosing me.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.